So, good morning, all. Can you hear me? Please keep your videos on. Let me see your faces. Keep your audio off, but keep your video on. Let me see your faces. So, good morning, students. Welcome to the first lecture of mass communication. Now, as I have told you earlier in the orientation program, this is the easiest subject and it is very easy to pass and it is very interesting to learn. Whatever you are doing in your daily life, that's the only thing that we are going to discuss over here. In your daily life, what you do, you watch television, you listen to music, you um, network with people on social networking, you read newspapers, books, magazines. So now these are the things that we are going to discuss in this particular paper. Now, because it is an official lecture, we are not having the regular lectures. On the other hand, we are having this online lectures. All your lectures are going to be recorded. That is number one. Your lecture will start sharp at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, whatever your timing is given to you. The link is shared 15 minutes before. So you are expected to join before 11 because what happens once we start with the lecture, we are recording the lecture and your late coming is also recorded. So don't do that. The first thing we are going to do is you have to join Google Classroom. So you can see over here, this is classroom.google.com. You will go over here. When you go over here, you will see a plus sign over here. There you have to join class. And you have to enter this particular code. Can you see the code?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what you have to do, type classroom.google.com. Then on your right hand side, you will see the plus sign. Click on that plus sign and enter this particular code. With this code, you have to join Google Classroom. Invalid code. Okay. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, let me check then. But remember what you are supposed to do. First, now understand what is there. I may, I might have to recreate that particular code again. But what you are supposed to do, this is what you have to do today itself. Today, what we are going to do, once you join this particular class, there you will find three entries. The first one is syllabus. Can you see the syllabus copy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is your syllabus copy. Mass communication. Here are the details.
The group.
These are your objectives. This is the syllabus for semester 3. Nature of communication, nature of mass communication, mass media in India, media types and presentation formats. This is the syllabus for semester 3. Later on, you have the syllabus for semester 4 as well. Plus, you are having the question paper pattern and bibliography over here. So once you join Google Classroom, this particular matter will be available to you. Second thing, you will find that there is this daily attendance record form. SYBA Mass Communication, email address, date, today's date, then time, at what time the lecture was held, your name, roll number, topic and feedback, and then submit. So this is the form, SYBA Mass Communication, daily attendance form. You have to write your email address, date, time, name, roll number, topic and feedback. Can you see the form? This particular form, this particular form you have to submit every day. The same day you have to submit. Don't keep it pending. I will say that the moment your lecture is over, immediately fill this particular form. Am I clear, all of you? This is your daily attendance form. The third thing that you will find on Google Classroom is mass communication notes in Hindi. There are some students who might have problem with English. So for them, I have kept these notes in Hindi. So you can see over here communication, sanchar. Then here you have parichay, that is introduction. Paribhasha hai, that then you have paribhasha hai, that is your definition. So like this, your entire or at least some part of it is already there in Hindi. So you are going to get three things on this Google Classroom. Number one, your syllabus copy. Number two, your daily attendance form. And number three, notes in Hindi. This much is clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There is some problem with the code. I will generate the code again and share it with you. And by that time, I will share the attendance link separately. Okay, for today's date. But otherwise, this should go smoothly. Now, first I will test the technicalities, the way there is problem with Google Classroom, whether there is problem with the other things as well. So now I'm going to start um, my lecture. But then before that, we will just check the technicalities. Tell me whether you are going to, whether you are able to see the visual, and number two, whether you are able to hear
Yes,
this.
ma'am.
No, not mine. I will be showing you a clip over there. This is just for the testing. So whatever clip I am showing, whether you are able to hear that clip and see that clip. Okay, you can type the message in the chat box. Audio, you could hear. Please type your message in the chat box. Either yes or no. This is just for testing. You could hear the sound. You could see the picture. Please answer. I don't know whether you are able to see or not.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, I agree. Hi, Cos.
Okay, so right now our testing is over. There will be some clips that I will show you in between. Otherwise, it is going to be your PowerPoint presentation. So now I'm going to start with the PowerPoint presentation. So our first, sorry, our first topic is concept of communication. Our learning objectives are to define communication, to enumerate the elements of communication, to explain the process of communication, to understand the characteristics of human communication, to appreciate significance of communication, to outline the models of communication, to compare and contrast types of communication, to compare and contrast modes or methods of communication, to identify the principles of communication. You could see the PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So this particular how I have structured this particular presentation. First, you will have the learning objectives, then your particular topic, and at the end, we will have summary of what we have done in that particular lecture. Now, I'm going very slowly. If you have any doubt, you can ask me at the end. Don't disturb while that PPT is going on because I can't see you. I can see only my screen, that is PPT over here on the screen. Okay, so now I'm starting with the presentation. So now the question is, what is communication? If I ask you this particular question, you may answer that we talk to each other, we write to each other. Somebody may say radio, telephone, Twitter, blog, etc. The word communication comes from Latin words communis, which is a noun, means common, communality, or sharing, and communicare, which is a verb which means to make something common. Where there is no communication, there can't be a community. So here we are having different definitions of communication. It will be better if you write down these definitions, because these definitions you have to write in the examination word by word. It should be same as it is given into the inverted commas. So may I request all of you to write down these definitions in your notebook. So the first definition is by Pearson and Nelson. Communication is the process of understanding and sharing meaning. Please write down in your notebook. Definitions of communication, Pearson and Nelson. Communication is the process of understanding and sharing meaning. Second definition, Newman and Summer Jr. Communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. Communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. Third definition, Kuntz and Virich. Communication is the transfer of information from a sender to a receiver with the information being understood by the receiver. I repeat, communication is a transfer of information from a sender to a receiver with the information being understood by the receiver. Next is Peter Little. Communication is the process by which information is transmitted between individuals and or organizations so that an understanding response results. Communication is the process by which information is transmitted between individuals and or organizations so that an understanding response result. Fifth definition, Keith Davis. The process of passing the information and understanding from one person to another. It is essentially a bridge of meaning between the people. By using the bridge, a person can safely across the river of misunderstanding. The process of passing the information and understanding from one person to another. It is essentially a bridge of meaning between the people. By using a bridge, a person can safely across the river of misunderstanding. So these are the definitions of communication. What we understand from here is, number one, communication is a process. Number two, minimum two persons are required for communication. One is sender and the other one is receiver. And number three, for communication, understanding the message is necessary. So now we are having elements of communication. First one, sender, source who starts the communication. For example, in this particular online lecture, I am the sender. Second one, encoding. It is the process of converting idea into symbols such as words, pictures, gestures, etc. So, for example, creation of this particular PowerPoint presentation is encoding process. Third one is message, that is idea, information, view, fact, feeling, etc. that is generated by the sender. So in this particular case, whatever content you can see on the slides is the message. Fourth one, medium and channel. It is a manner of transmission such as telephone, internet, post, email, etc. So here what we are having? We are having online mode. Next element, receiver. Destination for whom process of communication is initiated. So in our case, all the students are receivers. Next one, decoding. It is the process of converting symbols into ideas. In other words, it means understanding. So if you are able to understand whatever I am teaching you right now, that process is decoding. Next, feedback. It is written message from receiver to sender. So whether you have understood yes or no. So this is going to be your feedback. And the last one, barriers to communication. These are the obstruction caused by the sender, message or receiver during the process of communication, such as bad telephone connection, inappropriate gesture, inattentiveness, prejudice, etc. So, in any way, if you are not able to understand whatever I am teaching you over here, then there is some or other barrier. Next, process of communication. You have sender, an idea comes to his or her mind, then that idea is converted into the message. That process of converting the idea into the message is known as encoding. This message is sent through medium and channel to the receiver, and receiver converts that message back into code. That code is decoded and the message is understood. The process of understanding the message is decoding. So you have sender, encoding, message, transmission through medium and channel, decoding on the part of receiver. Now, when the receiver answers back, first there is the process of encoding, then feedback is sent back again through medium and channel, and the sender decodes that particular message. So, this is a cyclic process, something that goes on again and again. Sender to receiver, receiver to sender, sender to receiver, receiver to sender. So, it is a cyclic process. You can see that there are barriers. Any type of obstruction, hindrance, because of which if the sender and the receiver are not able to communicate, it is known as barriers to communication. Process of encoding. First, there is sender. Second, ideation. An idea comes into the mind of the sender. Third, organization. The sender converts that idea into words or pictures or any type of organized message. Next is execution, that is actual sharing the message with the receiver. It can be through speech or writing. Next, we are having decoding. Now, the receiver first listens or reads. Then, the receiver recognizes the sound or the letters. Then, together, the individual sound or the individual letter is grouped into a word or a sentence, and then identification of that particular object is done. For example, if you are reading the word APPLE, first you recognize the individual letter A, P, P, L, E. Then you identify it as one word, that is apple, and you refer back to the object, that is apple, that is identification. And then it leads to understanding. So this is the process which goes on in the mind of the receiver. Okay. Um, so now I need your feedback. Did you understand whatever I taught over here? How was the speed? Was I going too fast or it was okay? You could write down the definitions. Time was sufficient.
Ma'am, can you send that PDF
I
on
want
group?
people to write down. See, I will be sharing all the notes with you. There is no problem. But I want you people to write down. So what is going to
Yes, ma'am,
happen?
we have written it.
Speed was okay. I
Yes.
want to know whether you wanted more time to write down or it was sufficient.
Ma'am, in the starting I was writing, but then slowly you अब जल्दी जल्दी बोलने लगे, so then I stopped.
So that's what I wanted to ask. So I need to go slow when you are supposed to write. Okay. Now I'm starting from the beginning. This particular part, unit number one, concept of communication. Learning objectives to define communication, to enumerate the elements of communication, to explain the process of communication. Right now, we are doing these three things. First one, definition of communication. Number two, elements of communication. And number three, process of communication. So So note down these two words, communis and communicare. See the spelling? Two Latin words, communis and communicare. Write down the definitions. See the spelling. All of you are writing down? Next, elements of communication.
Ma'am, can you repeat the point of barriers?
Sorry? The previous slide.
Ma'am, can you repeat? Ma'am, can you repeat?
I'm not able to hear you properly. Repeat what?
मैम बैरियर्स का लास्ट वाला पॉइंट नहीं सुना।
Last wala point. Okay,
Yes,
any
ma'am.
type of barrier. Now you are not able to hear me and I'm not able to hear you. So this is the barrier. So there can be a problem in the sender. There can be a problem in your channel, or there can be a problem in case of the receiver.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Please draw this diagram. You needn't draw the faces, right? Sender and receiver. Sender, encoding, message, decoding, receiver. Medium and channel. From receiver, you have encoding, feedback, decoding, sender. And you are having barriers. Barrier on the part of sender, on the part of medium and channel, and on the part of receiver. Okay, so basically it is very easy. What whatever we are doing right now, understand it in this video. What we are doing, we are having online lecture. I am the sender. You people are the receiver. Whatever I am teaching you is a message. Our medium is internet. Are you getting me? If you understand me, then the process of communication is over. The communication is good. If for any reason you are not able to understand me, then there is some or other barrier. It can be technical problem. It can be you are not comfortable with English. It can be I'm not audible enough. It can be there are too many distractions around, so you are not able to understand. So, in whatever way, if you are not able to understand what I am saying, then it is barrier. Am I clear enough? I'm just repeating once again. First, what we have? We have the word communication. What does the word communication means? It is the exchange of information between sender and receiver. So, when we are talking about communication, first there is sender. There is some information that is being shared with the receiver. And when the receiver understands that particular information, then we say that communication is successful. Okay?
Yes, ma'am, it's
So
clear.
now, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. No doubts?
Can you please repeat the meaning of decoding and decoding?
See, we will go into that in detail. Right now, just understand the process of converting the idea into words is encoding, and understanding the words and its meaning is decoding.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else? Any other doubt? Okay, here I am having a message. Guys, just take a screenshot. Now, frankly speaking, you did not take the screenshot. I can, share the entire PowerPoint presentation with you. But remember, I want you people to write. Now, what is going to happen with this online lectures? You have all the material available to you online. It is digital material. And so you may feel why it is necessary to write. Right now, we don't know what is going to be your status. Whether you are going to have online exam or whether you are having written exam. Mind you, you have to write a lot in your examination. There will be only 5 questions of 20 marks each. And writing an answer for 20 marks is not easy. The thumb rule is for 3 marks, you have to write 1 page. So for 20 marks, you have to write 7 pages of full scale. And that too in half an hour. Because if you see, you are half an hour, or you can say 40 minutes. Don't say 30 minutes, but 40 minutes. So if you are having your examination for 3 hours, in 3 hours, you have to write 5 answers of 20 marks. Then, and again, you have to write 7 pages minimum 7 pages for one answer. So like that, how many pages you have to write? 35 pages. 35 pages in 3 hours. You require a lot of writing speed. And that's why I'm asking you people to write down in your notebooks. Because it may happen that you forget the practice or forget the habit of writing. And then you may say that I knew everything, मुझे सब कुछ आता था, लेकिन मुझे लिखने के लिए टाइम ही नहीं मिला. So I don't want you people to discontinue your habit of writing. That's the only thing. Okay, as I told you, I myself can give you the, I can share this PPT with you. So you may understand. But mind you, your final exam, as of now, will be written exam, and for that you require the writing practice. That's the only reason why I want you people to sit with your notebook and pen and write down at least something, some points, so that you don't go out of habit of writing. That's it. Anything else? There is no need to be sorry. This is the point that I wanted to clarify. That's it. You can take the screenshot, no doubt, but along with that, I also want you people to write. So I assume that today there was no communication barrier. Our communication was successful. Whatever I have taught you, you people have understood it properly. Okay, we had the technical problem with Google Classroom. I will try to generate a new link and share it with you today itself. And then along with that, I am also sharing today's attendance link. So on that particular form, I will just show you the form again. This is your form. You have to write your email address. Now, one request to all the students, please make your email address with your official name. For example, my email address is manisha@gnclc.org. So my name is Manisha, and so my email address is by my name. Some random, you people put some random number or some random digits. Please don't do that. We should be able to identify you. Here, you will write the date. Then time, today's time, your name, your roll number, topic, today's topic, concept of communication, and your feedback, whether you understood or not. Okay? So can we stop? Thank you very much, all the students, for your kind attention. We will meet on Saturday.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.